Maybe.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh!
Afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Monday, right? Today is Monday. Good
It
Monday
is.
afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I am a fan effing tastic. I was
Nice.
watching the little thing up there, watching with Facebook and YouTube and stuff. And it was like a bunch of numbers, and all went to zero. Something happened where everybody was watching it, and then all of a sudden they dumped off.
Whatever. They figured out what they were watching. Like, fuck, why are we
Fuck
here?
this. Why are we here? What's going on? I think I pissed off my own family today with what I posted on Facebook today.
Why? What did you post? I have been like not around anywhere.
Hey, we'll recap the Brown stuff, and I got some things I want to say about that, concerning there's like controversy now about this fucking Browns guy.
Right.
But so we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But
Okay.
over the weekend, I was doing my usual scrolling through Facebook. I didn't have much going on, and wife was out doing something, and I just kind of scrolling through, and I see this woman that posted. And I don't know who she is. She got a lot of likes on her post, and it was, one of these illegals could be the next doctor, scientist, productive member of our society. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not sure how many fantastic doctors and scientists are coming out of like El Salvador or Venezuela. I mean, maybe there are. I don't know. I don't know how many great colleges of medicals or whatever is down there, but whatever, it could be. But then I thought to myself, well, wait a second. This is the same party that believes in the murder of babies. Millions of aborted babies murdered, killed, and never see the light of day, except when their bodies are taken apart limb from limb, their heads crushed, and then put together on a table before they're put into a baggie and put into a freezer. And I thought to myself, well, what about those kids? What about those people that never had a chance? Couldn't they have been the next doctor, the next scientist, the next productive member of society? In my book, we are just shipping people out of this country, not murdering them. And we're giving them plenty of opportunities to be somebody in their own country.
Yeah.
Whereas here, and I know how you feel about abortion, but
Yeah.
You are still stopping the life and the ability for a child to become the next
Sure.
president,
Absolutely.
whatever you want, a race car driver, an NFL football player, whatever you want to say. But these people, the left, is more concerned about illegals than they're concerned about babies or our own citizens.
Well, no, they're more concerned about what is Donald Trump doing, and they got to be opposite that. But
Oh, come on. It's got to be more than that. It has.
I
to
don't
be.
think so, man. I
mean,
don't think so.
You have judges literally now hiding illegals. A guy who was on trial, by the way, for beating his wife, sending her to the hospital. She was in court ready to testify against this guy. ICE shows up at the courthouse to pick this guy up and take him away. And what does a judge do? A leftist radical judge yells at ICE and then takes this guy out of a back door through her chambers to hide him.
I do like that they arrested her ass too. Good.
And they should. They should arrest every one of these dumb fuck bastard judges that are screwing with this agenda. These are not the Supreme Court. These are low-level district court judges that think that they have more power than they actually do.
Well, hold on. Even if they were the Supreme Court justices, they should still be arrested.
Well, of course.
There's a place, the Supreme Court justice even, their place is to adjudicate, potential problems with the law. Their place is not to help people break the law.
And
no one should be allowed to. And going back to your original point with the person that posted this could be the next this, or this. If I don't know who the greatest brain surgeon in the world is or in the United States is. I have no idea who that is. But if that person, that brain surgeon, was here illegally, throw their fucking ass out. Throw them out. I don't care if they are the chief executive officer of the hospital in which they do their brain magic. Throw them back to fucking Cuba or El Salvador or wherever the fuck they're from, because they're not here legally. There's a process to it.
If they'd like to go through the process, come here. We're more than happy to accept them. Well, how about this? Go be that brain surgeon like you talked about in El Salvador. I'm sure they need them as well.
Well, and look, as somebody that has traveled around the world a little bit, let me just tell you, you're not gonna find an easier way to citizenship than the United States. It's pretty fucking easy.
Well, that's what I try to tell all these people that say I'm leaving, I'm going to Canada. Well, I hate to tell you, but they have immigration laws as well.
Yeah.
You can't just walk over the border and say, okay, I'm going to live here.
I'm here now. Where do I get my new driver's license?
That's just not the way that it works. I hate to say, in 99% of first world countries, you have to follow the laws of immigration. I hate to bring this up, but it's not a religious show, but even in the time of Jesus, you had immigration laws and had to follow rules to go country to country.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't rocket science, man, and it's not illegal. We have laws, follow them.
Yeah, I mean, and they're not hard to follow.
Again, these dumb bastards are so hypocritical. We're fine with murdering millions of babies, but God forbid we want to get rid of some illegals that are here. Okay.
Well, I'm for getting rid of all of them. Every last one. I don't give a shit what they do for the country. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care what they do for this country. If they're not here legally, get the fuck out.
Amen. Hello to everybody. We're going through some of these here. The president. Well, I mean, now I think it's true. I think it really is a Donald Trump thing. I think that they are so set on fucking Donald Trump that it doesn't matter. I mean, there's more injunctions against this president than any other president in history of presidents.
And I see this weekend's thing. It's funny because if you watch the kind of news now from, you don't get emotionally involved in it. And I know you can't do that, but I do that. If you just watch it peripherally, you can tell what the agenda is for the week. Like this whole weekend, the agenda from the left was that Donald Trump has low approval rating.
Well,
And there were 15 different stories and articles and everything. Lowest approval rate in 100 days ever. It's like, get the fuck. Who are they asking?
It was an ABC poll that came out that said the lowest approval rating. I mean, if you go with the Rasmussen poll, another different poll, one which, oh, by the way, is very respected. He has like a 56% approval rating, which is very high. So, I mean, it depends on which one you're reading, but this is the way it works. I heard that same fucking poll, and it's so funny. I was listening to TAM because that's a fucking shithole of a station now. They were running, of course, they do ABC News, which is as biased as it could possibly be. And the guy who was reading the news was talking about that poll, talking about it being an ABC poll, and he goes, yeah, I couldn't see that one coming. We're talking about the news guy.
Yeah, of course.
We had a guy on today from Newsbusters and MRC, which is the Media Research Center.
Okay.
And Tim Graham. And he was talking about the coverage of Donald Trump. 92% of the media coverage has been negative.
Of course it has.
Donald Trump.
And even at 92%, they can't take him to a 0% approval rating.
Right. Now, the other study which I thought was amazing is the Maryland family man, the immigrant who was shipped back to El Salvador. And rightfully so, by the way. They say it was an error. It was not an error. He was supposed to be deported twice in the Biden administration and wasn't.
Right.
He's been found to be not only a wife abuser, but a human smuggler.
Well,
And so that guy got, I think it was 143 minutes, something 134, 143 minutes of coverage by the left-wing media talking about how great he is and how the Trump administration fucked up and he's sending him off to El Salvador. Rachel Morin, the woman that was killed by the illegal, the trial is going on. You know how much time the media, we're talking about ABC, CBS, NBC, spent on that and on the mother of that? 12 seconds.
Yeah.
12 seconds.
12 seconds.
Two of the stations.
And they probably hated giving her that much time.
Two of the stations didn't even cover her at all. None. Zero.
It's funny.
But 143 minutes of fucking this illegal immigrant who is a human smuggler, wife abuser. And there's people out there who I know very well that will sit there and stand up for the fucking media scumbags out there.
Right.
12 seconds about the girl that was raped and murdered.
Oh, yeah. That's about enough.
Now, this is a media research center. Their job is to look at that kind of stuff. Their job is to not be biased. Their job is to follow what the media is doing and then give you numbers.
Well, you think.
And that's what they're doing. But no, there's nothing wrong with the media. The media's not doing anything. The media's doing their job, according to some people that I know very well. You can't talk bad about the media.
Well,
the
that's
media's
why none
great.
of us
Cleveland.com is fantastic.
That's why none of us pay any attention to it anymore. I can't be bothered with any of it. I watch the tiniest bit of Scripps News, which is fairly just, hey, there's a car accident in this city or whatever. But for the most part, I don't watch any news. I don't care. I just don't give a shit because it's all spin. So I don't, even if it's spin the way I believe, I still don't want to hear it. I just want the facts and I'll decide for myself.
Brian from Tennessee is listening. I have a quick question for Brian. Text in your answer, please, Brian. I'm going to Pigeon Forge in about 2 months for vacation. And I'm going to go to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Knoxville. I'm going to make like a little tour of Tennessee for a week at the end of June. And I'm asking Brian, because he's from Tennessee, apparently. That's what his thing says. How is it? Am I going to have a good trip? Is it fun? Thank you. No, I can't watch. I barely watch the media. I don't watch news at all. Other than I get up in the morning and maybe turn on Channel 19 or Channel 8 just to see what the fucking weather is going to be like. I don't need to. I got my phone. But there's really nothing else on at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that's what I turn on just to see what's going on. But I don't watch any like nightly news or any crap like that.
Yeah.
I'll flip back and forth from Fox to CNN, CNN to Fox just to see what those stations are talking about. But I don't really pay much attention to any of that.
See, I use I use primarily for those kind of channels. I use Pluto, and I have all the news channels except for scripts, so it doesn't even show up in my channel guide because I don't even want to accidentally flip onto that shit. I just don't want to be bothered with it. I can't be bothered with fake news. I just can't.
He said it's gonna be hot as fuck in June. Well, I kind of imagine that, but I mean, I went to Florida last year, Vegas the year before that. I mean, I know it's gonna be hot. I've been in hot weather. I'm just saying, is it nice? Is it? Mountains are nice. Okay. I got a room with a mountain view.
All right.
According to what I booked.
That's probably every room there.
I don't know, man. I almost booked a hotel only because it said it had a buffet in it. That's pretty fucked up, dude. The room rates is like really, really cheap, but it said it had a buffet.
Right.
And I was like, if it's that cheap, it can't be that good. But I was like, but it does have a buffet.
Yeah, that could mean one of those, two of those little boxes of cereal and a fucking and a thing of powdered milk.
So I like debated in my head, buffet, or nicer room, buffet, nicer room. And I went with the nicer room with the mountain view. And I said to myself, I can always maybe travel to the other hotel for the buffet, right? I can go there.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad when I base my fucking vacation on where they have food.
Well, welcome to being a fat guy.
I'm going to come back one leg lighter.
Be like boxing Helena all over again. Boxing Seth.
So I don't know, man. It was kind of irritating just watching people, people standing up for fucking illegal immigrants. I don't get it, man. I don't understand how you could do it. Look, I have a heart. I have compassion for people. I understand that maybe there are some hardships in the countries that you're coming from, but do it legally, man. I've watched all these different shows about the border, this and that, and they have ways to do it. You can get in here legally. You don't have to cross a fucking river. Wait in line, wait your turn, do what you're supposed to do, and come here if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But don't come here illegally and don't fucking cause crime when you get here.
Stop it. Now you're
We
getting
have enough
crazy.
criminals here.
Now you're getting crazy, Seth. Stop it. Come here illegally and don't commit crimes? What are you, crazy?
I don't. It's a stupid thought. And then I sit and I see some of these people that I think that I'm obsessed because, but it's kind of what I do for a living. My job for 3.5 hours a day is to produce a fucking political radio show. And that's what I do. And my job is to look at stories and read stories and that kind of thing. But some of these people that are, one guy's a fucking guitar salesman. And yet all he does is post shit about Trump. Like Trump is living in his head non-stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel bad for these people because if I didn't have to do this for a living, I don't think I'd be this the way that I am.
No. Believe me, the only time I ever talk politics is right here with you. I don't talk politics at all anywhere else. Maybe a touch on the CMS every now and again if Neely brings it up. I can tell you this, it's never me that brings it up. Ever. Because I don't know. I'm clueless to it. I don't pay no attention to fucking politics. I don't give a shit.
If Dolly Parton goes out during the summer at Dollywood, she melts him. That's one of the dude. I didn't realize how much shit there is to do in Pigeon Forge. We'll get to the Browns thing in a second because I'm kind of tired of the politics. Gets old after a while. But we're definitely going to Dollywood when we go down there, and I have to rent one of those fucking scooters again.
So.
I know. But I have to put my leg. I'm gonna strap my leg to my back or something like that, so people know that I'm not just some big fat piece of shit that wants to ride around on a scooter.
Hook the handicap parking thing to your shirt.
Yeah,
like
I'm going to do all that shit. I'm going to make it so obvious that I have no leg.
Wear a hat with a big flashing light on the top.
Yeah, I'll have a little siren going. I was reading their policy for they actually have a policy for amputees at Dolly.
Okay.
And it says you can go on all the rides and stuff, but there are some rides where they ask you have to take your prosthetic off before you go on the ride. And I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this thing? And apparently, a member of their team, I'm I'm guessing like a 16, 17-year-old kid is going to take my $15,000, $20,000 prosthetic and put it off to the side for me.
Yeah. This is our assigned leg holder here.
Like, I want to get it back and in like good shape. I mean,
how'd you like to be that kid?
Yeah.
You're not good enough to actually push the button to lock the thing in or whatever and start the ride, but you're good enough to hold somebody's prosthetic leg or arm. That's your job, fucko.
See the posters on the White House lawn. Yeah. Did you see what Donald Trump did?
Dude,
he put like pictures of and like what do you call mugshots of all these fucking criminals he's been taken away on like pictures on and stuck them in the White House lawn.
See, that's funny and all, and believe me, I think it's funny. But this is why the left hates him so much, because he taunts them with what he does.
Oh, I know, but I think it's beautiful.
It's funny because they're fucking shitbags that never stop talking shit. So he's just being. He's being an egomaniac himself, saying, okay, you want to fucking fuck with me? I'll fuck with you back. I get what he's doing.
He's selling 2028 hats on his website.
Yeah, I know. I get what he's doing. He's a master troll, and he's masterfully trolling. I get that. But I wish he would stop that, because that is a big part of the reason that we're never going to have another civil conversation about any issue while he's the president.
Absolutely. And right, and I think it turns some people off.
Yeah, and people even on his side.
Yeah, I wish you would stop some of that stuff.
I mean, dude, I was like that in the first election with him in the fucking Twitter. I liked damn near everything he was doing, and I hated that every other day he was on Twitter talking about, Rosie O'Donnell being an ugly pig, or fucking this show or that show having bad ratings or whatever. It's like, dude, just fucking run the country.
I don't know what side you're on, Scooby, but the left is definitely thin-skinned. Well, that is true. So the other thing I'm worried about when we go to a Pigeon Forge, I was looking at like videos of all the stuff that I can do in Gatlinburg and crap, and they have all these mountains and stuff, right? And like they have these cool like mountain coasters. Have you seen these?
No,
they're not actual like roller coasters.
Okay,
it's like you sit down and there's like hand brakes and you can go fast and you can control how fast you go, but it's on this tiny little track. And it's just like you in the car, and you just go down this fucking mountain.
Okay.
And again, I'm afraid I'm going to lose the leg, but you have to take like ski lifts a lot to get to the top of some of the shit.
Sure.
And so now I'm going to be sitting on a ski lift with my leg dangling. I know me, dude.
Yeah.
I know the leg is going to fall, the phone's going to fall. I'm lucky if I don't reach for it and fall myself. But something's going to fall off that fucking ski lift, and it's not going to be good.
Yeah, no. Ski lift all by itself tells me I'm not going up it. Fuck that. I'm terrified of heights, so I would not be doing that anyway.
So then I start thinking, did I pick the wrong vacation? Because we're talking mountains and all this kind of stuff, and I got to like fucking walk everywhere. And I don't know. But it looks like they have a lot of cool shit to do.
Dude, you'll be fine. I'm sure it's all handy capable these days.
Well, that's the thing. If there's one good thing about the woke industry that has happened, is that all of a sudden now I'm not just made fun of when I go out in public because of the handicap, but most people are like, "Oh my God, what can we do to help you?"
Well, thank you for your service, sir.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
You should just wear a red, white, and blue bandana.
I should. Well,
you really should.
Walk around with a flag sticking out of the back of my cart like I drive around.
Or a VFW hat or something. Just pick up a VFW hat somewhere.
I'm not that way. Not that way.
Oh, that's not necessarily claiming it. That's supporting it.
Yeah. Well, if they ask, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just supporting the cause.
Yeah. I bought this hat. $30.
Yeah. Donate it to my local VFW.
That's right.
Don't offer me. I'm not claiming I am one.
No. VFW is a weird thing, dude. I mean, I've been a vet for 35 years. I've never once gone in one.
I belong
what do you
to
do at that? What do you do at it? Do you just tell war stories, or what do you do? I
don't know. The one I belonged to one because I was like a friend of somebody that was there, so he got me like an honorary membership or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. And all they would have like barbecues and cheap beer and hang out.
Yeah, it's just a party, right? It's just same as I do here. Just tell stories.
They were good men.
Habu, I wouldn't say I was a paratrooper per se. I did jump out of a few planes, yes. And I taught air assault, which is rappelling out of the helicopters. And yes, doing both of those, I was scared out of my fucking mind with the heights. But I didn't have a choice in either case. In either case, it was okay, Aiken, you're going. You're going to jump school. You're going to air assault. You're going to teach air assault. Get up that fucking thing. You know, unlike what you guys think, you don't have a whole lot of say in the military.
Right. Do it.
In the military, they're not like, hey, who here is afraid of heights? Okay, you stay on the ground. They're like, oh, you're the one that's afraid of heights? Well, we're going to put you at the highest part until you stop being such a pussy. That's what they do. And that's I've told this story. I don't know if I've told it here or on the other show, but when I first got to California, to Fort Ord, I was assigned to a company called Light Fighter Cadre. Oh. And light fighters is what they called the infantry division that was housed at Fort Ord. So we were the cadre for the light fighters. That was the circuit of the name. And what we did was we trained. It was a training place where we trained people how to rappel from helicopters. And we taught a pre-ranger course called CLC, Combat Leadership Course. But one of the things that we did was every Monday when the new recruits or the new people would come into the base, we ran them through a really hard obstacle course. And I mean, it was a bitch. And part of it was you had to cross these, it was like a wooden structure that was about 30 foot high. And then you had to climb, you're already 30 foot high. Then you had to climb another 30 feet up a rope ladder like thing. And then flip over a log and then climb down the other side of it. The minute they found out I was scared of heights, you know where they put me, right? They put me on top of this 60-foot high thing with nothing to hold on to help people flip over this thing. So I literally had to get on top of this thing, lock my legs together, and flip people, hundreds on any given Monday. Hundreds of people. And I'm scared to death of heights. I'm scared myself. And there's people that are coming up and going, I'm going to fall. I'm going to fall. I'm like, just fucking go, because I wanted them done so I could get down. I hated it. They didn't give, stop it. No, Habu, you're wrong. Jump school is voluntary depending on where you went. Where I was at, you had to be jump qualified. That was that. There was no volunteering. Yeah, I guess maybe technically it was volunteering, but the drill sergeant or the sergeant major that sent me didn't give me any choice. He just told me a date. You're leaving this date, you'll be going there.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah,
well, thank you for your service.
Oh, whatever. Enough with that nonsense. I'm not serving now.
I don't know if I would now.
I wouldn't now. No way.
Although recruitment is up.
Sure it is, because Donald Trump's a badass. You're not serving a fucking half-retarded idiot.
So one of the other stories that got me kind of pissy was this stupid Browns draft, dude. Not even for who they picked, but because of what happened here.
Okay. I have plenty of thoughts, but I'll let you go.
Well, all of a sudden, the left went fucking nuts again. Well, they go nuts all the time, I guess. But they started going, well, this is racist. That Shedeur Sanders slipped all the way down to the 5th round. It's racist. People don't like him being a black, confident man. I read an article that was talking about this guy who claimed that Shedeur Sanders was racist because he's a confident black man, and white owners don't like that. But let's go over the numbers. Almost half of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL are black. The number 1 pick in the NFL draft this year was a black man.
I want to stop you right there for a minute with Cam Ward. Are they saying that Cam Ward is not a confident black man?
Apparently not. Apparently
Is he a cuck?
Apparently he's just a whiny, not confident black guy. I mean, maybe he's not black. I don't know. He looked black.
Yeah,
I think last year, like 3 of the top quarterbacks were black. Before that, like 4 were black. I don't understand what the hell they're talking about here.
they're just, dude. Here's what.
How do you claim that?
Because you're stupid. That's why. Because they can't justify it in any other means. Their guy didn't go in the first round. And admittedly, this Shedeur Sanders thing was monumental. It was fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was fun to watch this fucking turd fall. But people won't call it out for what it really is because they just don't want to. And it's not racism, and it's not leftism, and it's not any of that. People just are, general public are enamored with celebrity, especially on the left wing, the left side of things. They're enamored with celebrity. Shedeur Sanders conducts himself like he's a celebrity, and he got a humbling. The NFL, and I do believe, you're going to probably think this is talking out both sides of my mouth, but I do believe that there was a concerted effort not to draft this kid.
Well, I think there might have been too.
I think there definitely was, but I don't think it had anything to do with race. No. I don't think it had anything to do with, with anything other than 2 reasons. 1, he's a pompous, arrogant douche. And 2, no one wants what we're already seeing with with Deion. Nobody wants the circus that's going to come with this kid.
Right.
And it's already, I don't know if you saw, it's already started.
I didn't see why. What do you have? What?
Deion has already said he wants to be part of the initial meeting between Shedeur and the Browns coaching to help them figure out how to play his kid. He's a grown ass man.
Right. Well, supposedly.
Well, I mean, in age.
Right. No, I understand, but I agree with you in the sense that I do believe that maybe these owners kind of got together and like, we got to teach this kid a lesson. We got to humble this kid up a little bit. But I mean, I don't know how far you want to go into that. I don't know how far they could do that and not get busted for it. But I absolutely believe that these guys did not want the headache of dealing with this kid. Did you see the reaction when the Browns drafted him? Most of the time when these coaches and stuff and the general manager drafts somebody, they're all excited. They're high-fiving each other.
Yeah,
and
they want nothing to do with it.
They look like they were at a fucking funeral.
Well, that's a whole nother thing, too. This is a Johnny Manziel, Jimmy Haslam move, if ever there was one.
No doubt. That guy, Jimmy Haslam, had to have called them and said, "You're doing it."
Yeah, he called the pick in himself, probably. Yeah, because it was funny watching Andrew Barry give the golf clap.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. What happened?
Here's what this article that I posted up here. I'll read it because I know you can't see it. Coach Prime wants to be part of Shedeur Sanders' first official meeting with the Cleveland Browns, scheduled for this week, to discuss Shedeur's future role with the team. I have a few theories about why this happened, but I'm not going to give y'all a headline. I'll address the current situation and correct it as needed. I promise it will be handled accordingly. Shedeur don't take no back seat to any quarterback. This is Deion after the draft. He's going to be a fucking nightmare.
I'd cut him today. After that, I would have been like, all right, you're out.
They're probably going to end up trading. Dude, he's not going to make the team. That's the other thing, too.
I think he'll be starting.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Dude, they're going to get rid of Kenny Pickett, and they're going to keep the other 2 rookies, and they'll have Flacco here as a backup or a mentor or whatever you want to call him. No doubt. Deshaun will sit there and he'll say that he can't play because if he plays, they owe him a ton of money.
Well, somebody's getting cut. They're not keeping 5 quarterbacks on the roster. So somebody's got to go. What are they going to cut? Driscoll, who's a better player?
Who?
The kid that they drafted in the 3rd round. Driscoll. Dylan, isn't his last name Driscoll?
No, Dylan.
I don't know what his name is. I don't watch college football, so I can't really speak on any of it as far as being players. But from everything that I read and watched over the weekend, I watched a ton of it. Shedeur Sanders just isn't that good of a quarterback. Like he was good in college, but he doesn't have he doesn't have the arm for it, and he doesn't have the speed for it. Dylan Gabriel, thank you. I don't know his name.
As goofy as this whole situation is, the very best thing that could happen for the Browns right now would be for Shedeur to turn into a stud and be our long-awaited franchise quarterback.
The problem with that theory, John, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but the real problem with that theory is he didn't want to come to Cleveland anyway. Him and his dad both said it 6 months ago in the press, out loud. They said that they weren't going to come to Cleveland. Now he's forced to come to Cleveland, so if he becomes a stud, he leaves in 4 years, not 5. He absolutely will leave.
Well, it certainly wasn't racism that kept him from
No, not at all.
But the left is nuts. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, who I had some respect for, all of a sudden lost his mind, and then a whole bunch of people did. I mean, shit, dude, Trump was weighing in on it. The racist Trump was weighing in on saying somebody's got to pick this kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Shedeur Sanders is going to be. It's going to be Johnny Manziel like here, unless he becomes a star. And God knows, as a Browns fan, I hope he is a star. I hope I'm dead wrong from my vibe from this kid, and he comes in here and he lights it up like Patrick Mahomes. I hope to God that's what happens, because I'm tired of the Browns sucking. But if he doesn't, he's going to cost Andrew Berry his gig. He's going to cost Stefanski his gig, because those guys are going to have to be forced to push him out there. And they clearly don't even want him. Yeah, it's a bad – the whole look, Shedeur is one thing. I don't know how close you paid attention to the rest of the draft.
I paid a lot of attention to the draft.
It kind of was a clusterfuck. They drafted 2 quarterbacks. They got all these good picks, and they drafted 2 quarterbacks and 2 running backs.
Well, that's why I think it was the Sanders pick was a Jimmy Haslam thing.
I do think it was, but
they wanted Dylan Gabriel because I don't know why. I think he's an undersized, okay quarterback. He didn't beat the Buckeyes in the Rose Bowl, but I mean, so I don't know. So there had to be a reason why they took this Sanders in the 5th. Somebody had to tell them to do it. But I didn't understand trading away pick number 2. I mean, you have a chance of getting a generation type player, dude. Like a guy that could play both ways, was an unbelievable talent, and you just traded him away. Now, fine, you got another number 1 next year. I guess that's good.
You got a number 1 next year, and you got kind of the best defensive end, I think, in the draft.
He's not an end. He's a tackle.
Or whatever he is.
I mean, that's a nothing position. I mean, it really is. There's no stats to really keep track of when it comes to a tackle like that, a defensive tackle. There's nothing. Dude,
well, the stats are the stat that'll matter is if the Browns can finally stop the run.
I guess.
Which they don't do. I mean, you watched the games last year. Every game, they gave up hundreds of yards of rushing. And you put a big body in the middle there. Hopefully that and the combination of Myles Garrett will at least cut one half of the field off from running crazy on us.
You don't take a wide receiver. I mean, you took, I guess, 2.
Well, that I don't get. I don't understand taking 2 running backs
because Nick Chubb
no wide receivers.
Because Chubb is going to be done. They're not going to re-sign him. And then,
Chubb is one guy. Why'd you need 2 to replace him?
Who else do you have?
Got Jerome Ford. He's played okay.
Get out of here with him. No.
He's played okay. I mean, he's not the best. He's not. I'm not putting him as my feature back. But they drafted their feature back.
He's the next Barry Sanders.
They drafted their feature back, and I don't even have a problem with the 2 backs that they drafted from what I see. But
the Ohio State quarterback or running back is a good running back, but he's not a speedster. He's more of
a power back.
Power back and throw him down at the goal line and send him in.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy is more of a speed guy, and Jerome Ford, like I said, come on, he should be playing high school football. So, fuck that guy. I mean, no
Jerome Ford's better than high school player.
Couldn't play for Ed, dude. Come on.
he's good enough as the second or third back. He's every bit as good as the numbers that we got from Kareem Hunt. I mean, if you put it at that level, he generates about the same as Kareem Hunt did the last 2 years. So you have a stud, and then you have that guy. Why did you need a third guy?
I don't know. But
When you needed a receiver, when you needed somebody on the other side of Jerry Jeudy, who's a number 2, pretending that he's a number 1.
yeah, you got nothing as far as wide receivers go. Maybe you'll sign somebody here, before training camp. I don't know. Maybe that's who you take one of these quarterbacks. You get yourself a wide receiver that's at least decent.
Yeah, who knows? I know Amari Cooper's out there still. Stephon Diggs.
You got to get somebody. You got to get somebody there.
They're going to get one of these washed guys. They'll
if
probably
we're-
bring Amari Cooper back.
If you're taking a shot at Sanders for quarterback, then you have to have some receiver for him to throw to. I mean,
How about
How
if
you
you
gonna find
just
out what kind of
hold
guy
on.
you have?
Let me correct you, Seth. Take off the first part of that. They got to have some receivers, period. I don't care if it is Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett or Shadur Sanders or whatever his name is, Dylan whatever. I don't care who it is. They got one receiver. One.
but my point is that you're not going to find out what you have in Gabriel or Sanders if they're not throwing to anybody that can catch the fucking ball.
I agree. And didn't they draft a tight end?
Yeah, out of Bowling Green or something. But I think he's pretty
Don't
good.
we have an all-pro tight end?
Yeah, but now you have Stefanski likes a lot of tight ends. He likes to play 2-3 tight ends.
Yeah, but wouldn't
so-
he rather have a second receiver that you need on every
Well,
single play?
He's going to be a receiver. I mean, when you got Njoku and then you got that guy on either side, I think you're going to be pretty good as far as blocking and catching tight ends. I don't think that was a terrible pick. I don't understand taking the 2 quarterbacks, and I don't understand what they did with the first pick. I don't like that first pick at all, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot better players out there that you could have gotten for the money, and I don't see why they did what they did.
Did you enjoy the draft coverage?
I loved watching Mel Kiper almost have a fucking coronary because Sanders is still out there. I mean, that guy was talking like it was the end of the fucking world. You know why? Because it made him look stupid. Because he had him as like the number 1 or number 2.
Yeah, he
guy
had him as the
out
number
there.
2 pick on the board.
And he made Mel Kiper look like a jackass that everybody's passing on him. And he
Mel
didn't know what
Kiper
to say.
is a jackass, though.
He didn't
Did
know what
you
to say. He didn't know whether they were call it racism or collusion or stupidity or what. He had no idea. He was just
Did you see that list of people that he said were can't miss guys in the last like 10 years?
yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. They were showing us like Jimmy Clausen and Johnny Manziel, and it's like a whole list of people that he talked up like Shadur Sanders that none of them amounted to anything. You know, it was really quite funny. He's always been a bum though. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I
me too.
watched I watched the ABC coverage, and for the first 2 days he wasn't on it. He was on the ESPN coverage.
Yeah.
And the first 2 days was pretty good. It was actually pretty good coverage of the draft. That third day, I couldn't wait till Sanders got picked so I could turn it off.
I watched at least when I wasn't out in the living room watching the draft, and I had it on in the bedroom. I was watching on was it Max? They had Bleacher Report,
Okay.
and they had just guys randomly talking, and they didn't do a bad job. It was
Sure.
not as annoying as some of the other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, dude. And I don't know if you saw this conspiracy, but this was a conspiracy theory that was floated that I'm not going to say I totally disagree with either. Shadur Sanders dropping to the third day could have been a ratings ploy because nobody watches the third day of the draft. And I will tell you this, and again, I'm only speaking from my own personal experience here, but Pinball PA had the flattest Saturday that we have had in years on this Saturday. And I firmly believe it's because people stayed home to see, obviously it's in Pennsylvania, people stayed home to see if Pittsburgh was going to draft Sanders.
Well, that's another team that fucked and screwed the pooch, dude. They didn't.
Now, they did poorly. They did not do well. They got Will Howard in the
Great.
seventh round or whatever.
Will Howard.
Almost
I
Mr.
don't know.
Irrelevant.
Maybe he's a game manager. Who knows what he's going to be? But
Whatever.
you know, I think that is. I haven't heard anything today, but people are saying this morning that that's a sure sign that Aaron Rodgers is going to Steelers.
Yeah, I keep hearing that, but why? Why is that? Why is a 40 whatever year old Aaron Rodgers going to save your team?
I don't know. I don't know why anybody would think that, but
You know, if you're going down that road, why wouldn't you just have kept Russell Wilson?
I mean, I like him. I don't.
I like Rodgers too, but I mean, at
It's
this
so-
point, I mean, what's the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson?
It
Except
really-
Aaron Rodgers will cost you more.
Yeah, it's really funny though. Like listening to ESPN guys talk about Aaron Rodgers because they're all fucking liberals as fuck on ESPN,
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron Rodgers is like their nemesis because he's anti-vax, pro-Trump, anti-everything that ESPN believes in.
Right.
And Pat McAfee puts him on that fucking show all the time.
Every Tuesday.
I can't decide whether I like that Pat McAfee show or not. It's somewhat entertaining.
I don't mind the show. I hate him on WWE.
Yeah.
I can't take, and now he's part of the storyline against Gunther. I don't know if you saw that, but Gunther choked the shit out of him last weekend.
Really?
Almost put him in a coma.
Russell costs more. Shane Moore lifespan.
Wow. Okay. I think all these teams are just positioning for Arch Manning next year.
Including our Browns, man.
They might draft him. Why not? They only got 5 quarterbacks.
Hey, go for it.
Get another 2.
I don't know how many quarterbacks we're going to end up with in our little room there, but it'll be interesting to see how like training camp breaks and who's on the team. And but I still think John Drake is going to lose another bet because one, he sucks at picking games, but two, this is not going to be a good football team. So.
Well, I don't think John's going to take the bet of saying that they're going to win 9 or 10 games. I think I said this in our little text thread. I think the over-under this year is like 4.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying my best to leave the politics out of sports anymore. I really am. I'm trying so hard to not look at the NFL and go, man, a bunch of crybaby leftists calling for racism, calling racism, and all this kind of bullshit. I'm trying not to get the politics involved because I just want to enjoy sports. I want to enjoy Saturday and Sunday afternoons watching football.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to enjoy watching some baseball games. And so it's so difficult sometimes to separate. It's supposed to be get away from the bullshit of life and enjoy a game, but it's very, very tough to.
Yeah, it's horrible now. Dude,
I'm waiting for the NFL to start putting names of illegals that have been deported on the back of their helmets, and so we just have to see them every time. And
it's on CMS on Saturday. We were talking about. I don't know if you saw this clip of Shaq having to run off the stage of TNT on the basketball thing because he had to take a shit.
I did not.
We'll have to pull that up in a minute. It's really fucking funny. Shaq literally in the middle of the broadcast had to do the turtle walk off the set because he had to take a shit. But Neely was asking me about, because he gave up on sports completely and he doesn't watch any of it. And he asked me, he's like, do they still do any of the politics? And I told him, I said, I don't know, because when I do watch a game, I literally, if the game starts at 1:00, I don't turn on the game until 1:02. So that I'm sure I don't catch any pregame, and I don't watch the halftime, and I turn it off the minute the game ends.
Well, I
don't watch any postgame.
The racist NFL started the thing with the Black National Anthem.
Yeah, but I don't see it. I wait till kickoff. I wait until the ball has been kicked and the game has started before I turn it on.
I mean, what the fuck is a Black National Anthem? I'm not trying to be racist.
Well, it's like a national anthem, but
we
black.
We have a national anthem, one for the entire country, for everybody that lives here. What's next? I swear to God, you know what's going to happen next is that you're going to get somebody in the left who's going to win the presidency, and now is going to Now we're at every ball game. We're going to play the Black national anthem. We're going to play the United States national anthem. We're going to start playing the fucking Mexican national anthem. We're going to start
Canada.
playing El Salvadorian national anthem. We're going to play the Canadian. We're going to be playing everybody.
I'm in. The game starts at 6:00 with the national anthems.
We'll be done playing music by 7:30, and then that's when the actual game starts. It's so crazy what we're doing here.
Well, it's because everybody tolerates it. You just have to say, it's not racist, shut the fuck up.
But, dude, all right, here, do you think the country is split 50-50? I think yes. I think really a side that hates Trump and a side that is for all the other bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how many people that are actually for the other bullshit or they just hate Trump.
Well, we'll find out in 4 years, won't we?
I guess. Because if they did start playing the Mexican national anthem, they did start playing the Black national anthem, all this kind of stuff. If they did all of that before games, there are people that will stand for all those anthems.
Well, and if you give them that little bit, they'll just keep adding to it. Then they'll want the halftime show to only be rap artists or something.
Well, it is anyways.
Oh, it is. That's true.
Well, they've eliminated the Super Bowl.
They've eliminated white rock faces completely from the Super Bowl halftime.
Absolutely. The NBA halftime show during the All-Star game or whatever, forget about it. I don't even know who these people are.
Yeah. Well, that dude.
They had one NBA halftime All-Star game show that I swear to God they came from Africa, and like
wow,
there might have been even that black guy that remember the deaf the deaf guy we had that was couldn't understand him at all. I think it was him. I don't know what they were singing. I don't know what they were saying. But they've eliminated half their audience by what they do anymore. It's so weird. I don't understand it.
That's hilarious.
I mean, if you go to an NBA game,
mm-hmm.
I would still say that it's at least probably 60-40 white in the stands. I mean, but you don't cater to any of those people.
No, why would you cater to them?
I mean, I guess white people, I guess, like having shirts shot at them until maybe do that, or maybe like a hot dog cannon, and white people get a kick out of the stupid crap like that. But I don't know what they do.
Yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I got to show you the Shaq thing. You didn't see this, huh? 2
of the 5 QBs will trade bait during the preseason games. I absolutely agree with you, but I'm trying to figure out which ones. I think
Kenny Pickett will be
no
one
doubt,
of them.
No doubt.
It'll be Pickett and probably Sanders.
I don't think Sanders. I think Sanders is staying unless Dion makes it known that he ain't gonna play her.
Well, because the other kid isn't gonna get you anything. Until once they see Sanders play, if he sucks, then his trade value is 0. But to trade him now, he's still got some value. You could probably get a 4 or 3 for him. Watch this. Watch this video. This is Inside the NBA, live on the air. So fucking hilarious.
The other thing about Kawhi is, you all right, big fella? Catching a cramp?
Go ahead, keep talking, Jeff.
Yeah, we're on TV.
I know what we're doing. Go ahead.
Hey, take some matches with you.
Shaquille O'Neal making a break for the bathroom on live TV.
Hey, listen, he couldn't hold it. He can't hold it. After 40, he can't hold it no more.
That's a first.
He can't hold it.
Unless that wasn't something planned, was it?
No,
that was not planned.
It happened Monday on Inside the NBA on TNT. Shaq breaking down the highlights of the Clippers-Nuggets playoff game when nature called.
You all right, big fella? Catching a cramp?
Look at him. He's doing the turtle walk.
Go ahead, keep talking, Jeff.
He was in the back talking about he's going to drink alcohol to clear up his
No, he's been drinking the olive oil. You know what?
Olive oil to clean his gut. It's cleaning his gut.
I did not like it.
I love it. Then these guys all just start making shit jokes. It's fucking hysterical. How great is that?
That's fantastic, man.
I love that.
It's true, man. You got to go. You got to go.
It is. Absolutely. Well, dude, I know we need to play we need to take a break here to play a spot, but I do want to plug one thing just because it was so goddamn funny. If people are not subscribed to Minds, that Minds show that we did Wednesday.
Oh my God, dude.
That was off the hook.
It was. That was beyond crazy.
That was probably the best 30 minutes of radio we've done.
I've been playing those videos for everybody that I can find and telling them this is what goes on our minds. Because some of that stuff was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
We were all choking laughing.
Yes.
So if you're not, and believe me, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do with their money. If you want to sign up for Minds, sign up for Minds. If you don't, don't. But I'm telling you, that content that we did last Wednesday, and John, you could check in on that as well, because John was with us. That shit was really funny. Yes. Oh my God, we were laughing hard.
And look, I am telling people what to do with their money. I'm broke. I got a daughter going into college here in a couple of months. And yes, need money. So sign up for Minds. And also, I might actually give out my daughter's graduation party date and time and place so people can just swing by and drop off a check. Because that's how broke that I am with her going to college. I had to buy a sweatshirt for her that she wanted for her University of Cincinnati sweatshirt. Because, oh, Dad, I need this. Dude, for a pair of sweatpants and a sweatshirt, just a pair of sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
University of Cincinnati.
$160. Fuck that.
And I don't have that.
They sell white sweatshirts and markers, dude.
Dude, I'm going to be paying that off for the next 6 years of my life.
John, that cost me a few songs in our show on Saturday because he burned his throat out laughing. We were laughing our asses off. That shit was. I watched it back twice. It is so funny.
You got to sign up for Minds.
Yep. That was good stuff.
Minds.com/Seth Williams Show.
That's right.
Sign up. It's $5 a month, man.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's less than a Starbucks.
And less than the damn sweatpants and shit. All right. So, yeah, we will take a quick break, though, but sign up for Minds. And we'll be right back in about a minute.
When disaster strikes, we come together. Here at Mario's Barbershop, we've turned our passion into purpose. As Hands to America, a 501c3 nonprofit, we're on the ground helping those hit by hurricanes, floods, fires, and tornadoes, right here in northeastern Ohio and nationwide. But we can't do it alone. We need your help to keep this vital work going. Your donations, whether it's cash or vehicles, can bring hope to those who've lost so much. Join us in making a real impact. Every donation fuels relief efforts and helps rebuild lives. Call us at 844-864-2637 or locally at 216-520-1977 or visit us at handstoamerica.org to see how you can help.
Right back here on the Seth Williams Show with Chris Aiken.
Yes.
We've been talking a lot about the good old
NFL draft. Have you followed along with Shannon Sharp? Speaking of the NFL,
I did not.
Are you aware of his situation?
No.
He's fucked. He was right on the cusp of signing a $100 million deal, and now he has a sex scandal, and he's just done.
Really?
He's done.
What kind of sex scandal? Banging kids or something?
No. It was a chick, but he's being accused of sexual assault and rape, and there's text messages. I mean, it's real brutal. He actually took a leave of absence from ESPN, which that's just a move to avoid being fired.
Yeah.
But he says he's going to fight it in court. But oh my God, dude, look at this text message. You are going to. There's no way he comes back from this. There's no way ESPN just says, oh, okay, well, it's a misunderstanding. So this is just one of the text messages up here. But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my ass, and you didn't listen.
Jesus.
I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. And his only response was, can I call you later?
And game over.
Done.
Yeah, that's it.
Done.
Thank you. Thanks for playing.
But I mean, he was right on the verge of $100 million deal with ESPN.
Yeah. Guys,
Just fucked himself.
Guys
and that girl, apparently. But
guys and their dicks, man. It's a horrible situation.
But it's right there in text. He's done.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch more. That's like the most severe one, but there's a whole bunch. Of course, he's out there saying that it's all out of context or whatever. How can that be out of context?
I don't see how that can be taken out of context. No.
You stuck your dick in her ass when she didn't want it to be.
I mean, I can't tell whether I want to high five him or like say, dude, man, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, this is the other stuff. Here's the other side of it that Shannon's trying to say. And he might be right, but he's still very much fucked. Because now there's this one where she texted him and said, I want to be abused, Daddy.
Oh, boy.
So she may have been, she's a kink monster, no question. And she loves the dick, but she's just screwed, or he is just, it's one thing, even if she's into it, it's one thing if it's in the privacy of your home. You can't go back from that on national TV.
But like the Trevor Bauer girl, remember? She accused him of all kind of horrible stuff. I mean, I think it was consensual stuff, man. She was a freak and...
Mm-hmm. And where is he now?
Japan.
Pitching for the Mexican League or some bullshit.
Japan, I believe. Yeah,
Japanese League, yeah.
Fucking crazy. She ruined the guy's life.
Yeah. And now he's playing for probably $500 a game.
Right. Rock Hall inductees. We've got a half hour left here.
Okay, yeah, let's get to what's going on in that shithole. I mean, that wonderful place.
All right, so I got into a fight online again.
What? Can't believe that.
With a guy, because these names came out earlier, and I was looking at him, and I was like, get the fuck out of here with some of these things. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I said, it's the Rock Hall. And he goes, look, Rock Hall could mean anything, all kinds of music that influence rock and roll music, blah, blah, blah. No, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah. I believe there is a Hip Hop Hall of Fame. There is a Country Hall of Fame. There's all different halls of fames.
Yeah, well, you know my stance. It means nothing to me. I don't even pay attention to that building. It's a fucking joke. It's an embarrassment to our city. I wish somebody would crash a boat into it like they did that bridge in Baltimore.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction winners include powerhouse lineup of icons in music world. Winners include, in the performer category, Bad Company.
Should be there.
We'll go one by one, see if you think. I think Bad Company should be there.
Yeah, they should be there.
Chubby Checker. I don't really have a problem with Chubby Checker being in there. I'm not sure how many hits he had compared to,
I mean, he has one hit.
Well, I'm sure there's a couple other hits somewhere.
Well, let's look. Let's see what let's see what songs he has that we know. Hold on. That'll be interesting to see. You know, these tool bags that we, oh shit. Of course, it started blasting Hatebreed into my ears. Whoops.
Not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, not in the Rock Hall, and not the same as Chubby Checker. Okay, the top 3 songs for Chubby Checker are The Mashed Potatoes,
okay,
The Twist, and The Twist. So he has 1.5 songs.
Okay, well.
Stop. Full stop. Just because we know The Twist, that's like saying the guy that did Gangnam Style should be in there.
Is it a big? Was he a big influence on rock music? I don't know.
Chubby Checker? No, come on.
I wouldn't say. But still, I don't know.
Did he also do "I Found My Thrill on Blueberry Hill"? Was that him?
I don't know. See, I know the song, but I couldn't tell you who did it.
I found my thrill on blue. I know that song. I don't know of any. Look, dude, I've interviewed thousands of musicians in my day.
Yeah.
Not a single one has ever said, his big influence on me? Chubby Checker.
Chubby Checker.
And no, Blueberry Hill was Fats Domino.
Oh, Fats Domino. Yeah. I actually went to a casino in Anderson, Indiana. And Chubby Checker was playing their little ballroom there. In Anderson, Indiana. I spent, I think, $35 on a hotel room, and Chubby Checker was playing in the ballroom.
Was he good? Did you watch him?
I was playing slots. I could hear him through the walls, though.
You should have said, "Hey, Chubby, let's twist again, like we did last summer."
I had 2 legs that I could have twisted.
Wasn't that his follow-up hit? Let's twist again.
Yeah.
Like we did last summer. Come on.
All right, next.
All right.
Joe Cocker.
See, he's another one that I would question.
Well, I got a couple of hits.
He had a few hits. He had that "Love Lifts Us Up Where We Belong." What was his other hits? Let's see what his hits are. Joe Cocker hits. I think he had a few hits. Again, another one nobody's ever said to me, Joe Cocker had some really great ones.
Triv did a great impression of Joe Cocker. It was always fun to hear, but yeah.
You Are So Beautiful to Me.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. Unchain My Heart.
I like that song.
Don't You Love Me Anymore?
I
Don't know. With a Little Help from My Friends, but that's not his song. That's a Beatles tune.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Woman to Woman? Just Like a Woman? I don't know any of these tunes.
All right, ready?
Yeah, I would pass on him personally, but...
Cyndi Lauper.
Again, what, about 3 hits?
I wouldn't say a ton of hits, but I would also say, though, that she was kind of influential, at least in the 80s female rock scene.
Why? Because why? Because she fused wrestling with pop music?
I mean, it was kind of a thing, but she's also got a longevity in her corner.
Longevity of what? Okay, well, let's play this out.
She's still touring today.
Fine. So are the Eurythmics. Would you put them in?
Yes. No.
Would you? That's what I'm saying. The
I
Eurythmics
don't know if I
are still
would.
out there. They probably had the same amount of hits.
But you wouldn't consider Cyndi Lauper in any kind of influential... She had a lot of hits.
Influential of what? Who?
Female rock pop.
Name that band or artist that you listened to from the 90s or whatever. Like, man, they took that from Cyndi Lauper.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I couldn't.
That's my point. I mean, if there was a true influence, like the Beatles are an influence of Oasis. I see that. That's an influential band. Certainly, there's a zillion bands that are influenced by Metallica. There's a zillion influenced bands from Motley Crue. Cyndi Lauper?
Cyndi Lauper, I'm looking this stuff up, so I don't think I'm just looking at my phone.
That's
Cyndi Lauper's influence can be seen in artists like Pink, Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj, and Chappell Roan.
Okay, well, they're saying that, but name the songs that are reminders.
Look, I'm not a big fan of Pink and Chappell Roan, dude. I don't know what Nicki Minaj. Yeah. I want to see Nicki Minaj naked, but I have no idea what she does as far as.
I would give this one a borderline at best.
Borderline at best. Okay, well,
Madonna's borderline.
All right. Next on the list, Outkast.
Stop it. Really?
Outkast is going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum.
That's a definite no.
And this is one of the ones I got into an argument with this asshole on Facebook about. Like, what are you talking about? It's not rock music.
It's not rock, and he didn't have a lot of hits either, did he? Did he, they, whatever that is?
I don't think so. They had some hits, but again, isn't there a Hall of Fame for that style of music?
Hip hop music, yeah. Yeah, Outkast should not. No, that's a definite no.
Hip Hop Hall of Fame and Museum is located on West 35th Street, 8th floor, New York, New York. Looks very nice.
Wonderful.
You can go there if you want. It opens at noon tomorrow, on Wednesday. Sorry, noon on Wednesday.
But why would I need to go there when I can go right down to 9th Street and I can see the same bands?
Go to Cleveland and see the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
Next.
Yes.
Soundgarden.
See, now I love Soundgarden, but to say Hall of Fame? I don't know. To me, I guess yes. I mean, they did have a lot of hits, and they were like one of the big 3 or 4 in that initial grunge. Them, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
You know, I guess they were all like that one clique.
But in my opinion, though, they were the least popular of the big ones.
They had the most crossover though, because some of that early, especially the
Was more metally.
it was more Black Sabbath influenced.
Yeah.
Like they grew out of Black Sabbath into Outshined, and I like them too. I'm a fan.
Black Hole Sun, I'm gonna punch somebody in the face, dude.
Yeah, I don't like Black Hole Sun. I do like what's the one song? I lost my head again. Will you follow me? I like
Rusty
that. I like
Cage.
Spoon Man.
Rusty Cage.
The one is a doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. Bad Motorfinger. I like all that stuff.
I guess I would have to say yes. I mean, they can't.
I'd say okay. That's all right. At least
But
it's rock.
So far, you and I put 2 in.
Yeah. The only one that we're putting in 100% is Bad Company.
Bad Company. All right, next. The White Stripes.
Stop it. Rolling Stone Band.
I don't hate the White Stripes. I'm not sure that I would put them. I've never.
How many people have you met in your lifetime?
Well, a lot of people.
1,000? 10,000?
Oh yeah, come on.
So you've met. Let's say you've met 10,000 people.
Yeah.
How many have you talked music to? At least 1,000 of them, right?
At least, because I'm doing a rock radio thing. Yeah.
Of those 1,000 people, how many have ever said to you, you know what one of my top 5 bands is? The White Stripes. That would be 0, Seth. I already know the answer. Nobody considers them as anything other than passerby music.
Scooby says Cindy had like 9 hits. I'm on the fence with Cyndi Lauper. But yeah. Okay, White Stripes. Look, they're not my thing in particular. Like the last album that came out, I thought was actually really good. I'm not much for the storytelling albums and stuff like that, but I mean, it was a decent album. It wasn't bad. I guess the only like real thing I have for the White Stripes is I was giving away a pair of tickets at an event one day that I was doing for MMS, and this chick came up behind me and she was hammered, and she started like scratching my back and like rubbing my back and stuff. I ended up making out with her at the bar, and I gave her tickets to the White Stripes, and then I ended up marrying her, and now she's my wife.
So you have a personal relationship.
I do have a personal relationship.
So for you, it's a definite yes.
Yes. But actually, after 20 years, I don't know, maybe not. Other people going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but this is a Musical Influence Award, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Warren Zevon.
See, again, same thing. Take out Werewolves from London and name another song.
I don't know any other ones by him.
That's the point. These guys are all, I'm sure they had hits, but they're not memorable hits. These guys are the Bobby Goldsboroughs of the 70s. Nobody remembers Bobby Goldsborough or Mac Davis or any of these guys. You might remember a song here or there, and then they might have had 3 or 4 songs over 10 years, but nobody remembers them. Stop it.
Right. I'm going to give you an absolute has to be yes now.
Okay.
Salt and Pepper.
Well, since we're including rappers, maybe. They did have several hits. Is TLC already in there? Because if TLC's in there, then Salt and
It's
Pepper
not
should be in
a
there.
fucking hip-hop, rap, whatever museum.
Mm.
It is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame museum. And now I have to go back online after the show and have to give this guy some more shit for being stupid.
Push it real good. Thank you, Habu. Glad somebody got that. I was going like some real obscure 70s shit.
I know. And I was going, all right, Chris knows his stuff.
That was on purpose. They were purposely songs from artists. Mac Davis. Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me.
And now a bunch of people that I don't know here.
All right.
Musical Excellence Awards.
Okay.
But again, inductions into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tom Bell.
Tom Bell. I don't know who that is.
Nicky Hopkins.
Don't know who that is.
Carol Kay.
I know who Carol Kay is. Carol Kay was the bass player for a band or a recording outfit called the Wrecking Crew. And they played on damn near every record in the late 60s and early 70s. Like all like the Beach Boys records and stuff. The musicians were this band, the Wrecking Crew, and Carol Kay was kind of one of the leaders of that. She's deserving. I would say yes on Carol Kay.
Apparently Tom Bell was a record producer and Nicky Hopkins was a pianist.
Okay. Wonderful.
And then let's see here. I don't know what this even means. The Ahmet Erdogan Award.
That he was the founder of Atlantic Records.
Goes to Lenny Waronker.
Oh, Lenny. It's good to see he's getting some attention this year. Who?
Right?
Who?
He is, okay, the Ahmet Erdogan Award given to the non-performing industry professionals who had major influence on music. It goes to Lenny Waronker, a former head of Warner Brothers Records. Okay, well, now listen to this, though. He did sign Prince and R.E.M. and had part in records from Madonna, Randy Newman, and the Doobie Brothers, Paul Simon, and Gary Clark Jr. So that guy does have a history of actual music and
of hiring guys that hired these bands. He didn't do it. He was the owner of the record company.
He was the head of Warner Brothers Records who signed, Prince and blah 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 blah. But it was
so he was the owner of the company when his PR guys signed these guys.
Well,
he didn't go out to Minneapolis and say, "Hey, this Prince guy, he's got something."
Chubby Checker's recording of The Twist and subsequent Let's Twist Again are considered among the most popular songs in the history of rock and roll. And the 83-year-old is pissed that he hadn't been included, granted entry before. Where he told the AP in 2014, I don't want to get in there when I'm 85 years old. I'll tell them to drop dead, so you better do it quick while I'm still smiling.
Or before he drops dead. Look at this. Back at you. Partridge Family or David Cassidy or Leif Garrett? I got to go Leif Garrett. Leif Garrett by a lot, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, Lopper rose to fame in the 80s, such as Time After Time, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Went on to win a Tony Award for Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots?
Yeah. Ooh. Outkast, made up of Andre 3000 and Big Boy, has 6 Grammys and reputation for pushing boundaries of hip-hop.
So, yeah, bring them in. Maybe they can do a duet with Salt and Pepper on the stage.
Nominees were voted on by more than 1,200 artists, historians, and music industry professionals.
Yeah, right. And then whatever they voted on was vetoed, and then who they wanted was approved by some dickheads at Rolling Stone.
And the 2025 Rock Hall of Fame induction will be live on Saturday, November 8th. Where? At the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, well, because why would you have it in Cleveland when the building's here?
Now, do you think,
yes,
that when the dome is built,
no,
and we actually have an indoor facility that could seat a whole bunch of people and have all kind of shit around it, that we'll have the Rock Hall inductions here all the time?
No. They don't want the building here. It's clear. They only do it here once every 4 years. It's only out of necessity to justify the stupid fucking building. They will not do. First of all, the dome, they're not going to bring 60,000 people to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction.
When did that thing start to go up? Was that in 96?
I don't know. It's been a while. I think
I was
before that.
I don't think so. I might have been close, but I think I'm close. But I was a security guard for the hole.
Okay.
Like when they dug a hole to put the Rock Hall up.
Well, that's not right. It says 1983.
No.
That's not right. What was
it
built in Cleveland? I guess that's when they established it.
Okay. And when did the building go up?
I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find it. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I know it was by that fucking idiot, that Pie guy, M Pie, I M Pay or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I am pay.
September 1st, 1995 is when it opened.
All right, well, then it had to be 95 that the hole was there, or 94, because I was a security guard. And so I sat in my little car, and they gave me like a yellow light to put on top of my car, plugged it in my cigarette lighter. And my job was to literally sit there overnight outside the hole and go like kick homeless people out of or laying down in a hole.
Right.
It was a hell of a job, believe me. And I never thought back then that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame would be having salt and pepper there.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have guarded the hole.
No, I'd have peed in it. I don't know the homeless people.
Who are you fooling? You did anyway.
Probably. It was nice and lonely out there.
Look at this. Michael Stanley taking some flack.
Think Michael Stanley making a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Fuck no. He wouldn't make it in. The only place he's making it into is the Cleveland Hall of Fame. If they have such a thing, which they probably do.
Look, I hate to say this, and I don't hate to say that. I kind of liked his music.
I liked a good amount of it, but he was such a cunt that I've told the story. He really, really annoyed me with my mom. So after that, I just was like, you know what, fuck this dick.
All my years in radio, 5 years in radio, and being a competitor of his, and knowing him, and all that kind of stuff, and working at MMS for all the years that I did, and every shift that I did, I even did afternoons for a hot minute. I never got to meet that guy, ever, not one time.
Well, I met him a few times, and then he went to Kim and Roe and said that I was stalking him with my mom and interrupting his broadcast at fucking a Meatloaf show.
What a douche.
What a total douche. So after that, I just remembered one time that really stands out to me was, remember 92, you might not remember this, but 92.3, we had I forget what the local show was, but it was, there was a local show right before our show, before the metal show.
Right.
And they had Michael Stanley in there. And Matt was a big fan. And Matt had all his shit to get signed with Michael Stanley. Yeah. And I came walking in, and I don't know if you've ever been in the 98, 92 studios, but it's like a wall of windows kind of.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Like a hallway with windows.
Yeah.
And I came walking in, and I saw that Michael was in the studio, and I went and sat in the green room, and I wouldn't come in. And Matt came in, and he was like, "Are you not going to do the show?" I was like, "Not while Stanley's here. No, I'm not." And I didn't. I sat out there. Matt did a 15-minute number with Michael Stanley. When he left, then I came into the show. And Matt used the excuse that we didn't have enough microphones.
Wow. Did 92 just rip off everything that MMS is doing, local show and metal show and everything? I mean, they just rip us off?
Well, they more or less took us when MMS fired us.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, did they just?
Dude, that was the weirdest thing. They fired us. I think we got the call from Kim Monroe no more than 10 days after we were fired. And when we got the call, we would have said yes. This is the funny part. We would have said yes for a free pizza once a week. We didn't give a shit. We just wanted to be on the air. We really didn't care. But they gave us money. They gave us bus shit and billboards and everything. And we were like, God damn. We couldn't believe it because we didn't think we were that big of a show, but they really took care of us.
Because I remember doing local show for MMS, and I had to go through all the CDs and stuff that were coming in and play a lot of the bands. And then we hosted I hosted a local show at Peabody's.
Right.
And got some of these bands some out there on stage and shit. Some of them were pretty good. There's a band called Seven.
I remember that band Seven. Yeah, they were kind of like a groove metal band.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They weren't bad.
They were good. I still have their CD somewhere here.
Really? Mm-hmm. I knew the lead singer pretty well. He was a good dude.
Yeah, dude with a goatee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that dude.
Some of those bands were pretty fucking. Some of them were pretty good, and there were some that were just Jesus Christ, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, there was a few. What was that band? I can't remember what the one was. Bazooka Proof.
I
Remember
remember.
Bazooka Proof?
Yeah, of course I remember them.
They all dressed up like they were the Village People.
Yeah, they
playing their shows, and then they had the big airplane, the big styrofoam airplane.
Yeah,
and they would throw it out of the crowd. It would do loop-de-loops and shit.
Bazooka Proof, man. Oh my god.
I just remember one night I was at one of their shows and they threw that fucking airplane thing out into the crowd. Like they threw it and it floated up and everybody's trying to catch it. Well, it veered off. This was at the Odeon, back when they had the sidebar on the right side.
Yeah.
Well, the stupid airplane veered off to that side and knocked all the bottles of alcohol onto the floor. They were so fucking mad at Bazooka Proof.
Dude, I love that band. There was another band that I loved, local band, who had their own little gimmick thing. You remember the Hostile Amish?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Matt is still like a friend of mine from that band, and I mean they're fucking funny, like churning butter and shit.
They were great. Hostile Amish was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it was a good band, man.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys back then are music. That's what when I always talk about music. Music definitely not in Cleveland is not the rock scene anymore.
That's not. I mean, it was a definite scene, and that scene is gone.
Yeah.
Like, dude. I mean, even if there was, I was down in the flats almost every single weekend. Didn't matter. Didn't matter if there was a national show or not. If there wasn't a national show, there were locals playing somewhere.
Oh,
and a lot of times I would just kind of wander around and I'd be like, hey, who you got playing here? Oh, Crip Kicker? Fuck yeah, I'm in. And I'd just go in.
Chimera,
Crip Kicker. I mean, there was so
Chimera
many.
was a good band too.
Even Stupid John with his band, Gatlin. Gatlin was huge for a minute.
I remember seeing Chimera. I think they opened up for like Slayer or some shit. Like that.
Oh yeah, they did. Mm-hmm.
Those dudes were really cool. I like
Chimera. Those guys are great.
I remember my poor wife. We were dating at the time, and her father passed away.
Right.
It's weird because her father passed away, and like 6 months later, my mom passed away.
Oof.
But she was kind of sad and down in the dumps, whatever. And what do I do, being the great boyfriend that I am? I get her tickets after her father died to see Slayer with Chimera. This will cheer you up, honey.
Hell awaits.
And it's actually a meet and greet to meet the guys. Everything was like, what? I don't think it went over as well as I had planned.
That's funny.
But I loved the music scene back then.
I did too. I mean,
as much as I get frustrated with the way my radio career is gone, like when I was at MMS, I couldn't ask for a better fucking time.
Dude, it was fun, man.
I'm doing the shit that I got to do.
And introing bands and drinking with the bands and doing shots and stuff, just partying on the buses and stuff. That shit was a lot of fun. I fully enjoyed my time on commercial radio, other than the actual being on the radio.
Well, see, I don't know if it was that for me. I think the thing I didn't like about commercial radio is the commercial part of it. The business end of it sucked. I mean,
it just for me personally, it got to the point where, I mean, we had our intern Jeremy, and his whole job was to dump out of me. Yeah. And between him and Matt, I mean, there would be times that they would dump out of me 5 or 6 times in a show, and I would just get pissed, because I'd see him doing it, and it just sucked, man. I was, in a way, I was kind of happy when they fired me. I wish they wouldn't have fired Matt. Matt didn't deserve to go down for my actions, but I hated it at the end. I was doing classic metal show at the time, so Saturdays I was doing classic metal show where anything goes, and then Sunday I'd go into the metal show and they'd dump out of me for saying douche nozzle or something, and they'd be like, oh, "You can't say that, man."
Boku. I'm a fan of Boku. I like them. My wife is a big fan, but I'm friends with Dennis Lewin from the band, which he's a good dude.
Yeah, that's definitely not how you spell it. I know that.
No, it's not, but I got the reference, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there was nothing better than again when I was there. It was when that 2000s rock. We got to go there, but when it was that 2000s rock was going on with the Godsmacks and the bands like that, and it was fucking just a good time. Three Doors Downs and
Yeah,
all those-
Disturbed was just getting rolling.
Disturbed was getting rolling. I mean, I remember being at one of the first shows at the Odeon with them, and it was fucking amazing. Dude, I mean, the music was good, the local scene was really good, and it was just a fucking party. I mean, it really was.
Yeah. What I remember most
Things
about
have changed.
Disturbed was Disturbed sent Matt and me a gold record.
That's awesome.
When the first one, it would have been awesome, except for MMS took our names off it and fucking put it up in the lobby and didn't give it to us.
Really?
Yes.
I remember seeing the record. I didn't know that
we were so fucking pissed because we were playing it. I used to do it. I had a music magazine at the time, and we used to send. Matt and I would get our friends' bands together, and we would send them to Chicago. And there was a sister newspaper up there called Midwest Beat, and they would send their bands here. And we would get all the Chicago music way ahead of time. And we were playing Down with the Sickness easily 8 months before it came out. Like, because we had it and we had done some shit with them. And so when they hit, and that, you remember, it was huge the minute it was released. And they sent us a gold record, and MMS took it was sent to the station, and they took our fucking names off it and just left it for WMMS. Sons of bitches.
That's nice. Dude, that album was, like Pearl Jam's 10. Every fucking song on it was a hit. Every song off that Sickness album was fucking just
it's great. I like the song The Game.
Oh, yeah.
I like dropping plates. Plates on your ass, bitch. Plates on your ass.
Every song was fucking awesome.
That's great. It is great.
All right. Time to wrap this show up.
All right.
But I could talk about music and bands like that all day long.
Me too.
It's fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
Instead, I'm going to go back to Facebook and start yelling at people about the Rock Hall and about illegals and killing babies. So
there you go.
Everybody have a great rest of your day. God willing, we will talk to you on Wednesday.
Yes.
And don't forget to sign up for Minds, because if you have not, you don't want to miss Minds.
You really don't, especially after what we just did this Wednesday. Holy shit.
It's fucking amazing and fun. So
yeah, it is.
All right. Have yourself a great rest of the day. We'll talk to you on Wednesday, God willing. See ya.
See ya.
Seth Williams loves this land, stands tall and proud. Believes in freedom, speaks his mind out loud. Mentored by Trip, he learned to be tough. Life knocked him down, but he got back up. Lost a leg, but he's still strong and true. Chasing dreams under skies of red, white, and blue. Voting for Trump, he shouts it clear. WTAM tried to bring him down, but he's still here. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. Hates LeBron James, won't wear that crown. Prefers hard work and blue jeans in this town. Radio waves try to shut him up, but Seth keeps singing, filling that cup. From the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. On the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air.